What's going on out there, Fight fam? What's going on out there, man? It's the homie, Mainman Mademan here. Y'all know how I get down. We talking boxing. Just want to drop through real quick on late on a Friday night for a quick discussion, quick word, real quick. Want to get something out there, man, that I just got finished taking on in, man. And that is, of course, you see the title of the video. That is about Timothy Bradley, former welterweight champion Timothy Bradley, and some words that he had to say in a recent interview to Sports Illustrated on to the Sports Illustrated podcast, and which he said some words pertaining to Terence Crawford that I find real interesting, man. In which Timothy Bradley was saying that Crawford was what he was saying. The gist of it was he should reconsider this pay cut and think about staying active. And given that Terence Crawford is up there in age, and at this point in your career, your prime years are pretty much leaving you. The best thing you want to do is stay active at this point in your career. Now, I can't say what Timothy Bradley is saying is wrong. What Timothy Bradley is saying is absolutely right. Any boxing knowledge, any boxing wisdom that you may have in your head, all conventional wisdom will tell you what Timothy Bradley is saying is right. Terence Crawford is 31 years old. You ain't fought since December of last year, and you saying that you're going to sit out this year, if you got to sit out this year or whatever it takes until they get the money right, you ain't coming back. Now, like I said, all conventional wisdom would tell you that's the right thing, but now Terence Crawford's reason for saying that he's not taking the pay cut is he's been through it already. He's fought in bonds and basements, and he's let money fly off the table. And we're going to get more into this. He's let a lot of money fly away dealing with Bob Arum in Top Rank. Yeah, he got a pretty good deal today, but he had to go through a whole bunch of crap to get to that good deal. I got Renee Box Young in the building. What's up, family? What's up with you, man? Salute to you, man. Salute to Mexico, man. And he says, look, man, I've been through all this. Why am this is the reason I feel like I shouldn't have to take the pay cut. So when I think about all of this together, I try to ask myself, which one is right and which one is wrong? And I'm super torn, fight fans. I'm super torn. So let's get into this. Let me do the screen share real quick. And maybe by the time we get through the end of this, maybe we can see which side is right. But I come away from it torn. You know what I'm saying? Dimitri Cohen in the building. What's up, family? What's up with you, man? Salute, salute. Let's do a quick screen share real quick. Let me pull up these quotes from Timothy Bradley. Let's see here. So Timothy Bradley is saying, let's go to the top of this. Now, this article sitting over there on Boxing Scene. Salute the Boxing Scene. Now, with Timothy Bradley, let's go up to, I think they got Crawford's. Yeah, they got Crawford's quote right here first. So this is what we're going to deal with right here. Well, hold on. Let's go up a little further. Hold on. All right, here we go. Terence Crawford says, and I quote, "Don't try and tell me that I have to take a pay cut because of a pandemic. I don't feel that's right when I've already went through what I had to go through coming up. Now you're telling me to go back to ground one and take a pay cut. I just don't feel like that I can do that." End quote. Let's stop right there. Now, Crawford is saying that he's been through all of this stuff. He's been through all of this. Some of the main things that stick out for me is when I think about Crawford fighting for the money that he was fighting, the average amount of money that any up-and-comer or contender or maybe just one belt champion or whatever like that will be making 1.2, 1.5s, maybe even in the hundreds of thousands. He was going through that mode. And when it was finally time for him to hit to the superstardom level, to walk into that big money, world, the fight was right there in front of him, and it was called Manny Pacquiao. Bob Arum is well on record telling everybody, I messed that whole fight up. Whatever, if you want to believe his excuse, whatever. But Bob Arum clearly states that I got in the way. And he blocked a major door for Terence Crawford. We sit back and say, oh, Terence Crawford is not popular. No one knows him, and he could be a bigger star, and this, that, and the third. beating a Manny Pacquiao a few years back ago. Beating a Manny Pacquiao might would have done it for Terence Crawford. That could have been the one fight that took him to the next stratosphere of popularity and everything that comes with beating a Manny Pacquiao, if you will, especially as someone as good as Terence Crawford and being perceived as #1 pound for pound. What would that fight have done for him? When you think about Terence Crawford, and even though when his deal was up with Top Rank, he decided to re-sign back with Top Rank. Yeah, they gave him that beautiful $3 million guarantee. Not only did he sign with Top Rank, but he also signed an extension with Top Rank. So he may be thinking to himself, I stayed loyal to you, Top Rank. I could have walked out the door and went across the street to PBC and had fights with all of them dudes with no politics, no pile of shit, no pile of tricks. We could have did this easy work. But I decided to stay here. I left a lot of money on the table. Those are all pay-per-view fights that I walked away from. Manny Pacquiao is over there right now. I could have walked over there. I left all that on the table for you, Bob. I left all that on the table. You stared away Manny Pacquiao away from me. I still stood here. You know? Now, Crawford is over there with Top Rank, and they sit back like, well, you know, Crawford, we got nobody for you to fight, and, you know, we don't got crowds, and yeah, you made a sacrifice by not going to PBC. Yeah, we took Manny away from you, but, you know, you mind giving up a couple dollars off your purse? Could you do that for us, Crawford? Crawford like, hell nah. And I don't blame him. I feel him on that. But it's a hard question to ask when you think about where he's at in his career and saying, bro, you want to sit out a whole year, though. So it's like you understand what he's saying, what he's been through, and everything that he said, supposed sacrificed and stuff like that. But you also got to think that, bro, you 31 years old. We just seen my main man Keith One Time Thurman come off a hiatus. Everyone criticized him for his performance against Josecito Lopez because of the one round heard around the world. And then he loses to Manny Pacquiao. Inactivity is real. So I'm torn on it, bro. Let's get to Timothy Bradley. Timothy Bradley says, Bud Crawford is not a young whippersnapper anymore. He is in his 30s. He is not young. Activity is important to him. For him. But I know Bud Crawford personally, and I know that he works extremely hard. He is constantly staying in shape, so I think he'll be okay, end quote. Let's stop right there. What Timothy Bradley is saying right here is not wrong. He ain't a young whippersnapper no more. The older you get, it is hard. Granted, and I know what I'm going to read some of y'all. I know some of y'all probably saying, well, man, Bud always is in shape. Bud is always in tip-top condition. Bud don't do stupid stuff between fights. Father Time is undefeated. Bud is making decent money now. How much will he continue to stay motivated to train? Will his body continue to react the same? These are the questions that you deal with when you're starting to get old as a fighter. Will your reflexes be the same? Sitting off that long? Keith said a lot of things changed. He felt a lot of things different when he got back in that ring, sitting out of there so long. A lot of things changed. And I don't think Bud will be no different. He ain't a young whippersnapper no more. Activity is very important for him. Just the fact of, like I said, keeping them reflexes sharp at this point. Your body is becoming, your metabolisms are changing. Things are changing at that point in your life. So it is very important. It goes on and says that Bradley's concerns aren't specific to Crawford. Lightweight title holder and top-ranked stablemate Lomachenko is another elite fighter whom Bradley believes could be adversely affected by inactivity. Bradley then goes on and says, think about it. When is the last time that Lomachenko fought? It's been almost a year, coming in August. He's a little bit older now. He needs to be active as well. One thing that we know is that you can't buy back time. You can't buy back time. These are your prime years. Boxing is short. It's a short-lived sport, believe it or not. You have a short window to make your money and get out of the game before the game damage you, end quote. And Timothy Bradley can speak from clear experience. The reason I believe that Timothy Bradley got out of the game the time that he did, after going through those Ruslan Provodnikov fights, after going through those Pacquiao fights, man, things wasn't, health-wise. There was a lot of talk at that time that Timothy Bradley health-wise wasn't doing too good. He got into all of those stupid type war fights to please the crowd for whatever reason. And it shortened Timothy Bradley's career. He knows it. And Timothy Bradley knows that this sport can really, really damage you. You don't want to be one of those fighters that blew his prime and didn't make the amount of money that you could have made from staying active and stuff like that to fighting for scraps, and health is all failing you in your later years of your career. That's what Timothy Bradley is saying. You want to get out of the sport before it damages you. Let's go on. He goes on and says, it's not just about losing your prime years and guaranteed paydays. Remaining on the sidelines is also a form of promotional suicide, especially in this era of entertainment overload. Facts. I'm thinking maybe close to September-ish, some of these guys are going to get that itch and start saying, you know what? I'm staying at home, and yes, I'm training, but I need to get back in the spotlight. You know how boxing fans are. You're here today, you're gone tomorrow, on with the next. And if you're out of the light, they forget about you and they're on to the next one. Other words, out of sight, out of mind. I'm going to stop right there. So he's saying that to keep your name hot, you got to stay in the spotlight. How does this pertain to Terence Crawford? Because Terence Crawford has never been one of them dudes, even when boxing is on full-fledged, is going full-fledged 100%. He's never been one of those like front and center type dudes anyway. It was already the detractors of Terence Crawford already running around and say, well, he doesn't talk to nobody. He don't speak to people. He don't do this. He don't do that. So this has never really been his lane, the spotlight, Timothy Bradley. This has really never been his lane. This is the reason why he's happy with his guarantee, because I don't have to say nothing and I still get paid a certain amount of money. And I worked hard for that deal. I went through shit for that deal. I lost money for that deal. Which side are we falling on, fight fans? Let's keep it going. He goes on and says, and I quote, these guys have to sit down and speak with their promoters and find a plan to come back because they are going to be lost. You don't hear the name Bud Crawford anymore. You don't hear Lomachenko anymore. That's not good for the image. That's not good for their careers, end quote. He has a very good point. Boxing fans are very fickle. We forget fast. We move on fast. It even goes like that on YouTube. Same thing. You know what I mean? The person you listen to, you get tired of it, you go to the next one. That's how boxing fans are. And Timothy Bradley ain't saying no wrong here. Everything he's saying is actually right. Now, we're going to get to another portion of this. And one last quote that I think I skipped over because I actually got it in the title. Where's it at? Oh, here it is, right here. And I quote, in all honesty, Bud Crawford is not dying for money. He goes on and says that but I have to say that being in this position, time off is time wasted. That's just it. Whether you take a pay cut or not, you have to stay active. In all honesty, Bud Crawford is not dying for money. So he's telling you, bro, like you don't even need the cash like that. You good with cash. Your last couple fights did all right for you financially. You could take a cut and come back just for activity's sake, is what he's saying. Now, what people are going to say, because this is just honest. I mean, you got to ask yourself this too. Timothy Bradley is supposed to be a mentor of Terence Crawford. And I don't mean that in the word in layman's terms. I mean that literally. Like these two have a lot of history together. At once upon a time, it said that Terence Crawford was even living with Timothy Bradley. They sparred together. Timothy Bradley gave Terence Crawford a lot of game in the gym, from what's been said. It always do make me wonder sometimes, fam. I gotta admit, man, it always makes me wonder sometimes. Why is it always Timothy Bradley? You know what I mean? I know y'all got to wonder this too, because Timothy Bradley is the one that, and it's all around here on YouTube. It's everywhere. You can Google it. The epic debate between him and Andre Ward in which Andre Ward was fighting for Terence Crawford, saying he was number 1 pound for pound, but you had Timothy Bradley saying that it was Lomachenko, and then gave you a whole passionate debate as to why it was Lomachenko. You know what I mean? And it made people turn their head sideways then, like, hold on, did I hear myself right? Am I looking at this video clickbait? Am I looking at is my eyes tripping? This is Timothy Bradley passionately fighting against Terence Crawford. So it makes us go, whenever Timothy Bradley says something against Crawford, it makes us go like, what the hell is kind of agenda you got, bro? Like, are you loyal to the brand or are you loyal to Crawford? I mean, what is it? Are you really his friend? Are you really his man? What is it? It makes people wonder that. But I will say in this case, in this situation where he's talking about the activity levels, I think he's really being a mentor. This is something that he will have to tell Crawford, even though Crawford don't want to hear it. And that's what mentors do. Mentors is not there to be your friend, they're there to be your guide. So he's trying to give you the best advice that he believes that works for you right now. And that advice is he believes you should stay active. I think that's good advice. I think that's good advice. What do y'all say, fam? Let me see some comments. Let's see, man. Let's see. Renee says, yo, man, look, this is the perfect opportunity for his name to get known because boxing is on the very low. Facts. You're right, Renee. I don't disagree with that because his fight will stand out amongst all the fights that's going on right now. I don't care who Crawford's fighting. His fight is stand out. Roman has it. There's articles out. Timothy Bradley has been allegedly speaking to Ray Robinson. Ray Robinson is all excited out here running around. Oh, I'll take the fight. I ain't trying to be funny, but we don't want to see Ray Robinson. I'm sorry. I know we got to go low tier fight fans, but Ray Robinson is not even in the top 15 of the WBO. Terence Crawford is the WBO champion. We can do a little bit better. Just a little bit. Ray Robinson has 2 draws in 4 fights. We can do a little bit better. That's all I'm saying. But I think Timothy Bradley's desire is honest, and he just wants to see the man stay active. But I understand when people question and say, dog, like, why is he always got to be the one? Why is it always Timothy Bradley, the guy that's supposed to be the closest to Terence Crawford, always got to be the one saying some shit out here that's against Terence Crawford? And I would think that since him and Crawford are friends, I mean, he would call Crawford and say, yo, bro, I mean, maybe this is what we should do. Not out here in the public, always against him. I understand you're trying to be the mentor, but be the mentor on the phone, bro. Understand what he's trying to tell you. He's trying to tell you, look, man, I ain't trying to be like you. You know what I mean? I ain't trying to be like you and just listen and lay down and tell me, fight who they tell me to fight and walk around like some employee. No, I'm going to fight whenever they get that bag ready. And that's because I passed up on several bags on the way up. That's Terence Crawford. Facts. Last of a dime breed in the building. What's up, family? What's up with you? Lord Sweat Real. What's up, family? DMV love in the building all day. What's up with you, family? What's up with you? Word of the day. What's going down? What's going down? I got the queen on board. What's up, Denise? Hope you making them burgers, Denise. What's up, family? What's going on? Salute to you, queen. Salute to you. Tyrese in the building. What's going on? Time's on Bud's side. He's new to the division. All those PBC welterweights except Danny Garcia will likely outgrow the division very soon. Stay active. Bradley ain't lying. Good comment, fam. Good comment. You're right. You already hear what Keith Thurman is saying. You already hear what Earl is saying, right? These dudes are crunching in the saunas, man. These dudes are putting on all this weight between fights. And that's the one good thing. And I know that's what a lot of Crawford fans are probably thinking. Bro, Crawford stays in shape between fights. Look at his gym. You got champions in that gym. You got Herring. You know what I mean? You got former champions like Hooker. You know what I mean? You got Shakur in that gym. You got Iron in that gym. Crawford can stay sharp. Don't get me wrong. But Father Time is still undefeated, and the gym ain't a fight. The gym ain't a fight. Says he's the black Teddy Atlas, says Tyrese. Yeah, man, a lot of people going to look at let Bradley straight up going against Crawford on this. I think everybody got all free reign to say something about Crawford when he was having that debate. When they was doing that debate with Andre Ward, I thought he was way out of line. Bro, I don't care what you believe as a boxing fan or whatever. Bro, that's your homie, bro. You don't sit back and say, oh, Vasyl Lomachenko was the number 1 pound for pound fight and then give an epic, passionate debate like debating Andre Ward all the way down. Like, bro, how do you do that, bro? I don't understand. Even if you a mentor, if I had a mentor and I'm looking up to this dude, and this dude supposed to be, rocking with me, and I see you on TV telling me, debating somebody, talking about something, I'm not the best fighter, and then had the nerve to say in that debate, who has Crawford fought? He literally said those words. Who has he fought? And I'm like, what the fuck? Am I tripping? I thought that was his mentor. I thought they was living together. I thought they was homies. What's up with this? And that's what it's going to look like to a lot of people, man. I'm telling y'all. It's going to look like Timothy Bradley once again selling out Terence Bud Crawford, because Crawford made his positions known. That's the reason why he's doing this. He like, Bradley, you supposed to get with me on this, back me on this, bro. But ain't going to happen. That ain't how Timothy Bradley get down. You know what I'm saying? Word of the day say, controlled opposition. Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is. That's what it is. Then he says, Bradley should speak on this behind closed doors. I agree. I mean, that's why I say it, man. I mean, people got to remember, man, Terence Crawford got to wake up and read this. Terence Crawford's wife got to wake up and see this. His kids got to, and these are the same, they consider Bradley like family, but they all got to read this in the papers or see this on YouTube. See cats like me talking about this on YouTube, and they're going to be like, damn, Bradley could have called us. Why we got to go on YouTube and open the paper and see Timothy Bradley talking crap about us, telling us what we got to do in the public? Instead of Bradley just coming out and saying, I think a better statement would have been him. Well, that's a decision for Terence Crawford. He knows where he's at in his career. He's number one pound for pound for a reason. If he thinks he can sit out and he at this point and he wants to hold out for a bigger cause and stand on principle, then that's his decision. It should have been along those lines, because technically Bud is standing on principle. This is a principle that he believes in. And as a homie and as a mentor, well, why don't you believe in it? You know what I mean? And I think that's what it is, bro. I think that's what it is. He sound like Chris Carter talking about Moss. That's bad, bro. Hey, man, I'm watching Timothy Bradley, though. Don't get me wrong. I'm watching him. Like I say, in this one right here, I actually agree with him. I mean, this is like one of them things where it's the right. It's like, Timothy Bradley, what you saying is right. Yeah, we know what you saying is right, but did you have to say it? It's like one of them things. You know what I'm saying? You can't really debate his merits and points on it, because he actually is legit, I think. But you just got to question the source. Like, why are you doing this, bro? Why are you saying this? Why ain't we hearing this from Max Kellerman or one of them? Why are you saying this? Why is your little bald head ass saying this? You know what I'm saying? So that's the question. I can't even look at that debate no more that he did with Crawford about Crawford. I can't even look at that Andre Ward debate no more, bro, because it's disgusting. Supposed to be your mentor, but I'm gonna leave it there for fight fans, and I'm gonna catch up with y'all sometime tomorrow, man. I just wanted to get this word in, man. I just couldn't believe it, man, and I know how people gonna perceive this. Timothy Bradley once again turning on Bud Crawford and airing him out and putting him out there, going against the wishes of Bud Crawford. But I think in this case, he's actually trying to be a mentor, but it's still questionable, and it's funny as hell. Much love to the fam, man. Thumbs up on the way out if you did not hit it on the way in. We will be doing We Talking Boxing this weekend. Don't worry. Y'all see me pumping out vids, but that don't mean I ain't saving shit in the cut. You know what I'm saying? Always know, Mainman Mademan always got stuff in the cut. So I see y'all then, man. Much love to the fam. Thumbs up on the way out if you didn't hit it on the way in, and I catch up with y'all real soon. And until the next one, much love. Peace out.